evangelism without oil will not bring results. When you decide to just go out, so just start speaking, and then without oil, without waiting upon the Lord, there's no results. So if evangelism must be impactful, you must go for oil. There was a great man of God called T.L. Osborne. I think I showed you yesterday on YouTube. And then he's a great man. He's an healing evangelist, and then God used him. But he's a missionary in India. I think he's from US, Tulsa. I think if I'm not mistaken, he's from Tulsa, US, and then God sent him from US to India. He went there to become a missionary, to start a work. Then T.L. Osborne went to India. He gathered people for crusades and preached, and nobody was healed. He left India and went back to his base and closed himself for 3 days and said, God, where is power? Where is power? And after 3 days, I think drivers also, he encountered power and went back to India. I saw the crusade yesterday of 1969. Is it 1969 or 97? You see people with polio, twisted legs, make straight. Listen to me. If you do the work of God without power, it will wear you out. When you discover people say, I am serving God and there's no joy. Listen to me. Oil anointing is a lubricant. It's a lubricant. So now we need, you know when you have a car, you put oil in the engine, what do you call it, the engine, right? If there's no oil, there will be friction in the engine part. So now, preaching without oil, it causes frustration. Today I was watching YouTube and I saw one preacher preaching. He was invited, he's a Nigerian preacher. They invited him to UK and was preaching in church. And I was looking at God. This will God begin to minister to myself. I can't listen, it's not pride. I said, if God is shifting me to another nation, I will make sure I prepare, like what we're doing now. Prepare enough oil. As you open your mouth, let people know that you encounter God. I want him with anointing, with the presence of God. You can fake your dressing. You can fake your identity. You can fake your passport. But you cannot fake the presence of God. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And do you know, the presence of God. Psalm 91 verse 1, he says, he that dwell in the secret place of Almighty shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. When you dwell, naturally, you encounter oil. Oil, anointing is for those that dwell, is for dwellers. That's why the name of the church is Christ Dwellers. It means that people that stay with God. You see, you cannot represent God until you stay with him. You cannot represent him as an ambassador unless you stay with him. Extra oil. Extra oil. Extra oil. How to carry extra oil. Listen to me. Listen to me. The case, the story that the example of T.L. Osborne that I gave. And that's what I would a lot of people. People, God gave them prophecy. God told me that He's going to use me in 1980, and up to now that thing did not come to. Do you know what? Every prophecy have condition. If you don't meet with the condition, the date of the prophecy will come and you're not prepared. The problem is that it's not that God don't want to use people. They celebrate prophecy without preparation. Show me your faith, and I will show you my faith and my works. Faith and works are twins, brother. Show me your faith. There is a mighty prophecy on this church. It's faith. But there is another aspect which is called work. Work it out. Work it out. I saw a great man of God, David Abioye of Living Faith. He said when they started preaching on street that people are laughing at them, that he started with 4 members. Living Faith. He said people laugh. He said he preached on street. And I said, Jesus. He said even right now, he's still preaching on street. And I said, listen to me. God has prepared a platform for this church whereby our oil will be increased. Our oil will be changing levels. The gauge of our oil. Do you know, ma? Whatever you do every day, your gauge. When you look at your engine, when you are driving a car, you check the gauge. You discover that your oil is going down. I'm not communicating. At times, if it's going down, it starts giving you red warning. If you do not put it, your engine knock. Many people, their spiritual life knock, their destiny knock, because they are not mindful of their spiritual gauge. Check your gauge. Are you like before? Glory be to God. As a man of God, I would say I am growing more than before. That's the truth. Because listen, every day there is increase. Anytime you prepare, you go out, there's increase. Your spiritual gauge, your oil, your anointing. Many people are not checking their anointing. What make my car to knock the other time? I'm not checking it. Enter the car, just zoom and go. And when your engine knock, you spend more. A lot, listen, people end up spending a lot. They experience disaster in their life. Why? Because they are not checking their spiritual life. They are not checking that. Listen, what I'm telling you is very, very, it's like, listen, it's very, very tiny. But that is what is killing great men of God, great women of God. They don't check their oil. They don't check their oil. They assume that God used them last Sunday. They assume they are the same without knowing that after Sunday, they did not do anything, so the oil is dropping. Listen, that is why I said if we can appreciate God, if there's a way we can appreciate God, we can appreciate God. Because, man, this thing that we are doing every day is helping us to check the oil. 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 You can know. If you preach, listen, you know, man, that's how you can preach and people give their life to Christ. But you know that they gave their life to Christ based on mercy, not your preparation. Yesterday we went for evangelism. It was powerful. But do you know what the Savior told me? He said that it's mercy. It was people clap for you. I called that guy that just came. I said, see, he did not call me. Go to Miss Mercy. Do you know what he said? Mercy. Ma, because yesterday I did not prepare well. And now look at me. I'm careful. Yes, miracles happen. Only wise men of God knows that. Listen, you can preach and miracle happen, but you know it's not preparation, it's mercy. And then don't depend on that again. If God give you mercy for that day, go back again. That's what many people don't know. Because God used you, and you don't know that day you didn't even prepare well, and God used you. But wise people will go back and say, this is the product of mercy. I'm not coming. God show you mercy, maybe because God knows that day you are engaged. I'm not communicating. Maybe you don't have time to be with him. So he manifests his glory, but don't take it for granted. That's why people don't go far. Listen. If you give 10 people mic to preach, the person that stay with God, because I think you can't fake the anointing. This one come and preach. This one come and preach, and then after some time you say, among 10 of them, there is one that stay with God. I want to stay with God. You know what God gave us? Listen to me, my daughter, and those of you hearing some of voice. Even if you want to backslide, you can't backslide. Do you know, man? Because, man, God has given us like something to checkmate us. I am not communicating because, man, you know that every day there is something that you must do. So as you know that every day there's something you must do, man, it keeping us in check. Listen, this is the best gift ever that was given to us by God for this church. This day is so winning. This day is so winning. And also go. And listen to me. If this man of God, I had this great man of God say something. He said, don't look for rank. Make your mark and your rank will come. A lot of men of God want to be great. Don't look for rank. Don't say, I want to be anointed man of God. Make your mark and your rank will come naturally. I had a man of God saying something. He said to the same man of God say something, and I quote. He said, David Abuse. He said something that touched me. He said, most of the God general that God used did not start as master, they start as servant. And he said something. Listen to what he said. He said something. He said they started as laborers. He said people look at Oyedepo said, Oyedepo has private jet. But he said, did you know when Oyedepo used to trek? You to trek from place to place. They used to enter commercial bus from almost 5 years. Was it 5 to 4 years? 5 to 4 years when God called him to ministry. He was entering commercial bus. Then later bought a Beetle. But now, listen to me. God does not promote a lot of Christians because they don't follow principles. Listen, God is a God of principle. He takes them from one level to another. And if then, like what I'm saying the other time, he said, if you want to be global man of God, if you want God to use you globally, this for the ministers and those of you hearing our voice, if you want God to use you globally, it's good. The global platform is good. But my friend, can I tell you something? Can you finish with your Jerusalem? Because there is no how you will be promoted to the next class if you have not participate in the activities of class 1. Am I communicating with somebody? He said, unto people mock you. He said, when they are going to street, people are laughing at them. He said there was some of his cousins, because he has 4 members, they are laughing at him. But going to street, going for evangelism, when things begin to work, some of them said, you are asking us to give our life to Christ. Now we are ready to give our life to Christ. And after that, he said to them, it's too late. Some people are not joining not because they are not seeing results. When he said to them, it's too late. Some of them, after saying we want to give their life to Christ, they remove their CV. He said, please, big people, get work for us. Listen to me. He said to them, it's too late. Do you know anyone that will come to you because things are working? It's not. Do you know, this is that brand. Listen to me. When you are in your low level, it's a time to know who is for you. Don't be carried away when things start working for you. Don't be carried away. At times, God hide your identity so that you can know the people that are for you. You listen. If some people know they are not, if they can see they are not, they will kill you. So God at times hide you so that you can be able to know the people to work with and not those who you don't need to work with. So God disguises people. Great men, God disguises them so that because if people will know who they will become, they will fight them. So God disguises. Extra oil. Extra oil. When you wake up every day, you check your gauge. You check it. Because only wise people, listen, wise people check their gauge. They examine themselves. They check their gauge. We are going out now. But let me read something from us very fast. Matthew 25. He said, verse 1, he said, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamb and went to meet their bridegroom. There are 2 kinds of Christians. And then verse 2 said, 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. For when the foolish took their lamb, they took no oil. Hey! They took the lamb, they took the vision, but there's no anointing. Can I repeat it again? He said, for when the foolish took their lamb, they took not oil with them. They started ministry without oil. They started preaching